Hi everyone, welcome to Wealthy Mindset. My name is Oliver. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a great day like always. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about BlackBerry, GameStop, AMC, Nokia, and the Dow Jones, so that way you get a feel of the market. This is for trading day, March 4th. I'm going to give you guys the lows and the highs by analyzing the graph. Now, in the description down below, I'll have a timestamp for each stock if you want to watch your own specific stock. Highly encourage you to watch the first portion though, which is the Dow Jones portion. It's only going to be about 40 seconds, 30 seconds, just because I'm not going to do a deep dive. For the deep dive, it's almost the same play as yesterday. There's just some adjustments to it, that's all. And quick disclaimer, like always, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. So everything I do share with you guys is just my opinion and it's not advice. So please do not buy or sell based off what I show you or the opinions I do form. Please do your own due diligence and research before buying and selling. I do own shares in BlackBerry, and I've been holding for 6 years. And we're going to start off with, actually, before I get to that, I forgot about the Dow Jones. So same play as yesterday. The only thing that's the difference is there's a potential downward trend resistance line, but there's not multiple touch points. So I'm expecting, for the most part, that we're probably going to come back down to not necessarily test this downward trend potential resistance slash support line. But if we do go down, we could go down to 31,000. That wouldn't be at this bottom point. Actually, no, it's if I remember, because this is just a picture. But if I remember, it was close to 31,000. So hopefully the lowest we go is 31,000 points. But there's a potential we could go to 30,929 points. Now, if you think that either it's going to reverse back up to the upside really quickly, or it doesn't even matter, it's not going to go that low and it's just going to bounce off at one of these points right here, which I probably should have measured, but the max for today I see is 31,546 points. There's a potential it could go even higher. I think it was like 31,600 something points, but to me, I think this was like the utmost max. If you've seen the video from yesterday, it's probably going to link up here anyway. There was potential of going higher, but to me, again, this is just my opinion. It's not advice. I think that's going to be the highest for today. Now, if we go to BlackBerry first, it looks like, okay, so if you've been a viewer on my channel, you've noticed that there was an upward trend support line that was always shown. We still have one that's in play if you've seen my video from before in the past, where I showed from logarithmic to algorithmic, right? We still have the algorithmic one in play. The logarithmic one is not in play, and I'm going to elaborate on that. Actually, I'll elaborate on it right now. So if you've seen that video before, the upward trend support line, in terms of algorithmic, we still have it in play, and we could still go to $9.63 to having false breakouts at 955 and 950 as that first play. Second play would be the bottom of this. So we have support at $9.40. I could see a drop where it gets to 940 and still support. But that's not in terms of the upward trend support line, if I remember it correctly. But if we drop to that, we could have a false breakout at the 930. And this is where it gets to the very bottom, where it's still support, upward trend support line, algorithmic. And it kind of gets a little bit, like in a way, scary, but it's still fine as long as literally we cannot break 899. I don't think I counted for false breakout, but I saw it where even if it was a false breakout, it would start trickling down. It wouldn't be that much trickling down, but there's potentials to start like for example, this is worst case scenario in my opinion, but you see how we broke off from here from past videos I showed, and we back tested it from the 2008. This line, support line slash resistance line, is from 2008 all-time high, by the way. We could come back down to hypothetically to like the low right here, right? But I'll elaborate more in the video if I see it in play, but I don't think that's going to be in play. I think literally $9.0899 would be the utmost lowest if we're going on the upward trend support line, that in terms of algorithmic from what I taught from the past videos. But the question is, what's going to be in play for today? Now, it looks like we have like a triangle forming. We have support on this bottom right here. If I zoom in, you can see the touch points are even better because it looks ridiculous if I'm zoomed out. But there's touch points right here, and it's acting as support, right? Like, there's false breakouts too, and there's like back testing and all that stuff, but for the most part, if there's no false breakout, it looks like we could be, so there is support at the $10 price point, by the way, so it all depends. So there's two scenarios. If we hold support at this $10 price point right here, so $10, $10.02, $10.05, get back up above 10.11 to 10.12, have support there. The lowest we could fall is $9.95. So if we trickle down lower than $9.95 and don't hold that $10 support, we're going down to the bottom, just continuing on this downward trend resistance line right here. And from what I saw, 988 is in play, and we could just start hovering down to 985 and potential false breakout to 983 by the end of the day. So 985 by the end of the day, 983 by the end of the day. I think a 985 from what I measured, but potential false breakout 983, all depending on if we continue on this triangle slash support slash resistance play. But again, quite a bit of support where we can bounce up to the upside at the $10 price point. We don't need to trickle down. And then by the way, this triangle ends today after hours, if I measured it correctly. So technically the worst could be ending after today. And if it doesn't reverse and go up above this upward trend resistance line. Now this trend resistance line starts off from here to here. There's another one that's from the January 27th, January 28th, if I zoom in here. So touch point here, and then the touch point right about here twice. So we have another resistance line that would keep us down, and that was, if you saw from my previous video, that would keep us down from what I measured was the end of the week, so tomorrow or potentially Monday. So we still have more to come, but at least we'd break the first one to keep going up, hopefully. And then sorry about that, I apologize. If you think that we're going to reverse to the upside from the $10 support line, which is awesome, hopefully it does, we have resistance. Yes, we have a resistance between this level and that level in terms of the level I'm going to mention, but the main one is 1027, 1037. You can see it hovered at other points too at other times, but this would be a good sign a little bit. And then the next one is 1044, 1054, specifically 1053. I would say 1054 too when I was measuring it a little bit more here and there, but this is going to be, in my opinion, this is going to be knocking us down a lot. The 1050 mid-range, so 1050 mid-range, like I would say 1053, 1054, but it could even be 1055. But from what I measured, it was these two, 53, 54, even 51. These are going to keep us down a lot. I would be surprised if we pass it today. If we pass it today, that's awesome. But if we pass it, then we're heading to the 1059 also. But the next resistance level, the major ones, are 1060, and then major resistance levels at 1061 to 1069. After that, I'm going to include it because I saw it as a play too. So 1072, 1074, 1078, 1088, to be honest, is the utmost max. And if you're extremely optimistic, 1092. I do not see that even if you're extremely max happening, passing 1092 today. But I hope so. I hope so because I own shares in BlackBerry, but I don't think it is. Because first of all, we're below both moving averages. So 1053 is a short moving average that it's going to just like cross-sectional just destroy us. And then the next one, it's heading down and it's already at the 1075 price point. So by the time we meet it, it's probably going to be at the 1060 range. Again, like I said, major resistance levels at 1061, 1069. And then MACD lines is in the negative, and it looks like it's trying to curve up, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's it for BlackBerry. Okay, now for GameStop, it's interesting like always. Just in case for new viewers, have an upward trend support line dating back since September 2020, right about here. Multiple touch points if I zoomed in. Then we have an upward trend support line dating back since December 2020. Also multiple touch points if I zoomed in. Had this whole entire spiel of resistance line, broke the support, came up, support carried us through, and then upward trend support line, resistance lines took us down. And then now this is where we're at, where we have an upward trend support line. This one's actually pretty good, but this downward trend resistance line was an amateur one. Like I stated in the last video, didn't think it was going to hold through, which it didn't anyway, which is good, and all that stuff. So now you're above both support lines, so that's good. MACD lines in the positive, kind of curving down a little bit, but ultimately I think this is what's going to be in play. And like always, I'm going to cover if you go up, how high will you go? If you go low, how low will you go? And if you consolidate, where are you going to consolidate? So I'm going to go with the scenario I think that's going to most likely happen. and there's going to be quite a bit of support at the $119 price point to ultimately $112.80 as a low side to bounce off of as the main support. And then once you go up, you're going to have issues, yes, with $128 price point, but I think mainly what you guys need to pass is a $130, $137 resistance level, which is roughly about here when I measured. So right here, this area, you're going to almost see it multiple times where it's trying to even get to that point. And then after that, 130, 137, then you have the 140, 142 level, that's going to be resistance. And then the 150, it's mainly 150, but there's false breakouts to account for, the 150, 157, which was right about here, so midway. And then if you're extremely optimistic, you're looking at the 170, 177. I don't think that's going to happen today, just because I think the Dow Jones is going to be low today. But just in case to account for massive spike ups, you guys are going to get knocked down by the 197, 198, 99, $200 price point, which is right about, I think, was it here? No, right about here. Okay, so there's that. I've covered in the past videos higher levels, but I don't think that they're going to be in place, so I'm not going to cover them. But if you pass 170, 177, which is right about roughly around here, you're looking in good. It's good to the upside. I would be optimistic even more as I am right now. Now, if you're thinking it's going to go to the downside, there's quite a bit of support between these levels, but I would say you're looking at major support at the $100 price point, and then major support as well at the $97, $93, because this moving average comes in at the right time to help you to bounce off it to the upside. So not only do you have major support at $100 price point, but you have major support at $97, $93, and then you have support at the $86.42 if you just continue to keep going down, and then $70, and then right about here, $66 to $68 if you think you're going to come back down to the September 2020 upward trend support line. I don't think that's going to be in play, but that would be the utmost worst. That doesn't account for false breakouts, but I don't think it's in play, so that's why I'm not really accounting for false breakouts. So there's that for GameStop. Now for AMC, interesting as always as well. I'm just going to go to, okay, so I guess I can't do that. I'm just going to, if you're a new viewer, highly encourage you to watch the previous video so that way you could see some different trends. But there's an upward trend support line that's been dated back since January 2021, and you could see multiple touch points right here, and broke through resistance, consolidated, bounced it off, went up to the upside. There's this downward trend resistance line. If you watch my previous videos, you know the significance of it. It's very important. It dates back since, I believe, 2016, if I'm not mistaken, from my memory. Now you have an upward trend support line right here, and you have a downward trend resistance line right here. If I zoom in, you can see the touch points are even better. I don't know, like you can see right here, multiple touch points. And the thing is, right now you did break the support line, it looks like, but you're bouncing off the moving average. So you're below the short moving average, you're above the long moving average, MAC lines in the negative. It looks like you're going to have a rough day today, unfortunately, a little bit, but I wouldn't be too worried because I think this upward trend support line will carry you guys through. But hopefully this support line also carries you guys through. You've had a false breakout in the past, by the way, too. So don't be worried too much about the false breakout, but we'll see how it goes. So in terms of, what is it called? Okay, yeah. So for today, I think, to be honest, the max level you guys are going to reach is $8.97, $8.99, and $9.03, the utmost max. That kind of does count for false breakouts, because what happens is you have this downward trend resistance line that's going to keep you down. You have this short moving average that's going to potentially keep you down. And then you have, what else? That was pretty much it, but I think that would be the utmost max. So if you're accounting for the moving average, you're looking at 879 range. If you're looking at the support / resistance, by the way, all these points, even though they count as resistance, they also count as support. Like some of them here are support. So if you're above them, they count as support. If you're below them, they count as resistance, right? And so 850 you have, it's probably going to be acting as resistance by the time you guys open, unfortunately. And then 834, 839 you have support, but you're already below it. But I would say you're going to be hovering around that hopefully for quite some time. The main one that you guys are probably going to be relying on for today is 824, 828, which is pretty much where this upward trend support line is. Hopefully carry you through all the way back up to the support at the 834 price point. So there's a touch point right there, touch point right there, touch point right there. So this is in play. There's at least 3 touch points for this upward trend support line. Now, if you do fall below that, there is more levels between the 824 and 814, but the main support is $8.14, which I think coincides with this moving average right here when I measured it. Either way, even if it doesn't, there was support levels on the side. Then you have support at the $8 and $7.85. Between those levels, there is support, but the issue is you would start trickling down to this support level, I think. So right here, the upward trend support line dating back since September, sorry about a different ticker symbol, but dating back since January 2021. You can see the dates right here, by the way. So when I move it, January 2021. So I think you guys would ultimately, for the next trading day, if you break this upward trend support line, start trickling down here. Now, this is just for today, but you could potentially hit $7.66. I don't think you guys are going to go lower. If you do go lower, I'll mention another one, 7.36. Yeah, okay. That would account for false breakout. I'm not going to mention these. There was a reason why I was going to mention them. I forgot, but right now, I would be concerned with only 7.36 as the lowest. But in my opinion, if you want to keep this intact fully, it's 7.63, 7.66. And as you rise up on it, so 7.69, and then all the way to 7.85 as you go. So as the day goes by, the higher the support goes, just to let you know. So hopefully you guys can see them. So 7.63, 7.66, and then up to 7.85, $8.14. These are the levels as support. Again, I know I'm rambling, sorry about that, but that's the lowest. And if you think it's going to go past the upside max, like I told you, major resistance at $9.12 and $9.13. So yeah. Now for Nokia, it's kind of iffy. I don't know. I was kind of like, hopefully you guys do well. Unfortunately, I can't show you what if you're a new viewer, highly encourage you, by the way, to watch my previous video, so that way you could see these major levels that I can't show you right now because this graph keeps messing up right now and brings me to another website at the moment. But if you see my previous videos, you know what these levels are. Hopefully you have support that you could rely on this blue line that I can't show you right now. But either way, you have for the play today, you have a downward trend resistance line that dates back since potentially even further, but let's just say at least February 2nd, 2021, and you need to break it at least. The problem is you're below both moving averages. MAC line is in the negative, but it looks like it's trying to curve back up, so hopefully hopefully you guys do bounce back up. Now, like always, you do have major support level at 398, but it's probably going to act as resistance today. Hopefully you get above it, because if you do, then you have resistance and potentially support if you get above them at the $4 price point, $4.02, $4.03. And then if you're completely optimistic and you think you're just going to start like wrecking havoc and going to the upside, you need to pass $4.13. Major resistance at that level. I don't think that's going to be in play for today, but if you're completely optimistic, that would be the play for today. What could happen for today is, I think, either you guys consolidate between the 391 to 398 to $4 price point, but you guys might trickle down to 391, 395. I hope you guys don't, but you guys might trickle down to that today, just because, again, the Dow Jones and the way it's working out for the stock market overall. And if you guys do go low, I think the lowest you guys would go is the 388. I don't think you guys are going to go lower than that. But if you think it's just like, no, everything is like pretty much going to just get destroyed and all that stuff, then you're looking at 386, 384, 382, and 380. The almost is lowest is 380. I don't see it going lower than that. The reason why I'm saying the 2 cents increments is because when I measured the resistance and support levels on the left side of the graph, there was those support levels. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the video. Thanks again for watching, like always. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did like it, consider dropping a like. Helps out the channel a lot. Thank you so much for that. If you do like videos in terms of stocks, mortgages, credit scores, financial freedom, passive income, highly encourage you to subscribe so you can be notified next time I upload those videos. Thanks for the support too, by the way. I really appreciate it. And if you do have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And that's pretty much it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.